If you're a new Christian, you're looking for a church to join, maybe you're confused by all the different denominations and church names and you're not sure if it makes a difference which one you join and which one you should join, I want to offer some advice. So the first thing you might be wondering is, does it even matter at all what church you join? And the answer is both yes and no. It doesn't matter in the sense that you can be a true Christian and be in any church. And so that's where I want you to breathe a sigh of relief. You're not going to invalidate your salvation by going to the wrong church. If you're trusting in Christ for your salvation, you are Christ and you can be a true Christian in any church. But it does matter a lot. And that's because wrong beliefs have real life consequences. And so a church can either help you in your spiritual development or it can actually hinder you in your spiritual development. I think the best way, if you're unfamiliar with all the different church names and denomination names, maybe the best analogy is about cars. You know, with cars, you have good brands and you have poor brands. And you have cars that, are absolute, you're gonna always be in the garage with this particular brand of vehicle. Others are complete lemons, which you might buy and then the motor gives out a week later. And then others are going to be that they're really faithful. They give you a smooth ride. They do exactly what you want, and you can depend on it. And so different churches are kind of like that. Yes, they can all get you from point A to point B, and so you can follow Christ in any church, but some are going to give you a lot of headaches, and some are going to help you have a better ride along the way. Now, the first thing to say is that when you're joining a church, you're not just finding a place that you can attend on Sundays. You're actually joining a community. So this is going to be the people that you do life with. These are the people you pray with, you worship with. These are the people who are going to help disciple you in the faith, which it means that they're going to help bring you to maturity, to help understand the fullness of Christianity. And so it really does matter which group of people that you want to do life with. And so the most important thing, out of every trait that there is, the most important thing that you can find in a church is authenticity. And that means that they truly believe the Bible, they truly believe the faith, it really impacts their lives and they want to live that out. That's what you're looking for above everything else. So even if you're really confused, and this video is not going to go into every depth, I'm not going to say join this denomination, this specific church, but that's what you're looking for when you go to a church. You want authenticity. Now, it's good that you're taking the time to think about which church to join. I don't want you to just go down to the nearest one to your house just down the street, because you don't know if it's a lemon or if it's a good one. And the fact is that I don't want to make it sound consumeristic, but back to the car analogy, you're allowed, because you get to join any church you want. You basically get to pick out any car you want. If the one down the street might be a Ford Tempo, but you can have a Mercedes-Benz if you want. And that's just saying that you can find the best church which will help you in your spiritual walk. So it's worth it to take the time to look into and compare different churches to see which one will best help you on your journey. Now, the ideal is that if you have someone who who you trust, who's a born-again Christian, you know from their life that they're authentic, they really believe this, you want to be like them in the faith, then ask them what a good church is in your area. And hopefully you can go with them to their church as well. And so that would be the best. So just think about the relationships that you have. Think about who's somebody whose spiritual life you want to imitate, who you have trust with, and ask them. But if you don't have anyone in your life like that, maybe you came across the faith through the internet and you don't have any Christians in your life, what I would recommend is to use the Gospel Coalition Church Search. Now, the Gospel Coalition is a ministry that I trust, and while there's various denominations on there, so you'll find Presbyterian churches and Baptist churches and Anglican and Pentecostal and Methodist, so you're going to find lots of different churches, but they all have a core value of keeping the gospel as the main thing. And another site that you can also cross-reference with is the 9 Marks Church Search. And so all the churches that are on that website all agree with the 9 marks of a healthy church. So if you use these 2 church searches, put in the area that you live in, and look at all the churches in your area. And make a list of those different churches, and then go check out their website. Then when you're on their website, find out what their address is. You might want to check out one of their sermons to listen to beforehand. That's totally fine. Or maybe you just want to go visit them on Sunday. Now, my hope is that you won't just go to one church, but that you will go to several different churches. And I think this is especially important as a new Christian, so that you can both see what makes different churches unique, but also what they have in common. What are the core things that make all these churches one? And what are those things that they hold in common together? So hopefully that's helpful to you. And if by chance that you're in an area and you've been on the Gospel Coalition site and the 9 Mark site, and you also don't have a trusted Christian in your area and you need help finding a church, please leave a comment and I'll do my best to respond.